So Devin, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Excited to be here. Breaking my commentary cherry today.
There you go. So this is hole 5. It's 305 feet. This basket is precariously sat on this hill, so it does take a really good first shot in order to get yourself in position to putt.
Great forehand hole. You can see Dylan doing. Typically what I'm trying to do is land right about where Dylan is and get a skip up the hill.
This is one of the newer additions to the course. This wasn't. This was put in probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when we had to take out old hole 5, which was a fantastic hole. But this is a good one. This is a challenging hole.
The green is very challenging. You'll see when we get up there how steep of a hill the basket's on.
Right. So anything down below, that's the collection area, is down below, and then you're going to have to make a good uphill putt. And this is Dan Brooks Wells. He has a fantastic flick.
Dan the Am.
Very good. Got a little skip, but like
Right
I
in the
said,
collection area.
everyone has a uphill putt, unless you can get it to land on the other side of that log, and then you're in really good shape. See what Hank can do. Certainly got it to turn enough, but yep.
Righty backhand kind of hits the hill and funnels down all the time.
Yeah. So we did have a little bit of wet weather, but yeah, I don't think it was too bad out there. I don't think I think it was just raining in the morning, and then it kind of cleared up a little bit.
Yeah, it rained pretty good in the morning. And then right about the time we started to play, I believe it started to stop for us. Turned out to be a beautiful day.
You can see the sun's out here.
Steve was probably right around the circle there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. We got Dylan.
What's he putting with, a swan maybe?
Yeah, very, very good putt. You know, you can get aggressive going uphill like this a little bit, but man, if it starts to roll, it will hop right over those logs that are laying there to try to collect the stuff.
Yeah, you either want to make this one or miss it completely. Dan got a little bit lucky there. It didn't fall on edge and roll.
Right. That's a really good putt, too. That definitely went through some trees. It gets tricky down there if you do go a little bit long on this hole.
Yeah, I was definitely pumped about that one. It was a great way to start the round. Good putt.
Yeah, just trying to save par. Move on.
There's plenty of birdies out here. You can't get upset about missing one.
Yeah, these guys are just tapping in. So we got a bunch of pars, and then we got 2 birdies, Dylan and Devin. So we're going to move on. This is going to be hole 6. This is an interesting hole. This is a tight off the tee. You gotta definitely put it in the right position. This is the long pin, so you're actually
long tee.
Yeah, the long tee. Sorry. So you're actually, you're playing a smart shot through this gap to get yourself into position for the next shot. It's extremely difficult to get an eagle chance on this hole.
Yeah, to get inside 80 feet on this hole, you're throwing a really good drive.
I mean, I'm throwing either a leopard or kind of a flippy wraith and trying to just get something to finish the way that I need it to. I think I'm throwing my leopard here. It looks really good.
That looked really good.
Oh, I didn't see that tree hit from the tee.
Kind of surprised Dan's not going with the forehand here.
I was about to say the same thing.
That's how good his forehand is.
Yeah, he does. He's got a very smooth.
I mean, I guess if you want to attack this hole, the forehand's probably not the way. You're not going to get all the way there. Getting a righty turn over to glide out there is your best option for trying for the eagle.
Yeah, there really is no other gap that you can try to take.
Yeah, just missing either side of that tree that Hank hit is what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Inside or outside, and glide.
Yeah, there's certainly no eagle line on this hole that you can just go over the top. Because there's some people in our group that can throw a long way, and the nice thing about Jordan is that it keeps you playing the course the way that it's supposed to be played. Easy approach. See if I can do the same.
Probably what, like 180 foot approaches should
Yeah.
be pretty routine for us.
Absolutely. Well, that you're not going to have a problem with.
Looks like an 86 softy there.
Yeah. Dylan, who this year is on Team Latitude, so big congratulations to Dylan for that. Oh, and Hank cannot be happy with that.
No, he had a rough kick off the start, and now that
I wouldn't be
he's
surprised.
definitely
if
not
he makes
happy
it.
with this.
No. Well,
That didn't go in, huh?
no. No.
That almost
Nice
wanted to
birdie.
slide through the back, but that was a nice putt by Dan.
I kind of feel like this hole is a bit of a tweener hole. You know, I don't feel like I got a par by missing that putt.
No, yeah, I would
all.
definitely call this a tweener hole from the long. Really good drive will get you a 2, but I think 80-90% of the field's probably going to get their 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hank, unfortunately, with the early kick off the tee, kind of doomed. But this hole is an interesting hole. You're going over the pond. It really shouldn't come into play for most professionals because you can usually clear the pond pretty easily. The basket's tucked back in the right, so the flick is ideal. And so we'll see what the guys that can really flick do here. And Dylan with a great shot.
Remember, I think Hank tries the roller here, which I've seen him pull it off. I wouldn't try it personally, but
And you were throwing your Mako there, right?
yep, I threw my Mako.
Okay.
Just didn't get it up high enough. I want to get the glide to the back. And,
So here's Dan flicking. So we'll get to see. I mean, and he
early
sawed it
release.
off big time.
Hopefully that don't roll down.
Now he stayed
All
up.
right, yeah, you could see in his reaction that he was glad that didn't roll.
And here I am.
Comet?
I'm throwing the MJ Comet. Absolutely. It's a disc I've had in my bag since I started playing disc golf. So, you know, it's one of my oldest and long-lasting.
Oh yeah, that's Hambone. He's definitely lining up the
Yeah,
roller.
he's definitely doing a roller.
Those things don't roll on water.
No, they do not. Oh, wow.
Hopefully
All
you
right.
can get that Hambone
I
back.
forgot that happened.
I didn't because I think next round I throw mine into the water possibly, and mine was about 3 feet off the bank, and you seen where his landed,
Yeah.
and somebody found his, but not mine.
Wow. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so everyone giving it a go. Dylan really putting himself in position to get the birdie here. So, and once again, there he is, making a really,
That's a good
really
birdie.
nice
That's
putt.
definitely not a gimme hole
No, definitely.
in that location.
Look, he's 3 in a row now. Is where Dylan's at. So he's on a run right now. You know, you're not too far behind him. You got the first 2, but yeah, Dylan's running. He has the Dylan face on. So we're gonna be hole 8. I'm in the air.
This is a fun hole. The basket sits up on a little ridge. It's one of those holes where if you go long and you're putting back, it's a little bit scary.
Yeah, this hole has gotten me over the years a number of times, putting back and forth over this hill. And you'll see the basket's really precarious. It's sitting right on the edge. What a fantastic shot.
Yeah,
Still
that's
still a tricky putt.
It is, because you're looking off about a what 6-7 foot high
Yeah.
ledge there. That
It's
if you don't catch some metal on your putt, you're probably looking at a 40 footer comeback.
Sure, you've got to put it in exactly the right place. That looked pretty good, but
A little
I just
wide,
kept
I
it
think.
to the right side. It
Just didn't want to hyzer off for you.
No.
Hank going with his Brinster T-Bird here.
Good shot selection. Well, everything is really grown in right now. You can see how green and lush everything is. So everything gets really tight. In the winter, it's a whole different animal. So I don't have a whole lot coming out of these bushes.
Oh, gave it a good bid, though.
I thought it was in. And it definitely rolled away, too. So we'll see if I can manage to save that. And
That was about a 20 footer for Hank.
Yeah, you got to watch the way that
And
those things
Dylan,
stand up.
looking like he might be scoring another birdie.
Yeah, this is 4 in a row for Dylan, so he's on a tear.
Yeah, hot start for Dylan.
Yep.
That was me.
Yep. There we go. That's a good birdie from you, too. I mean, that.
I'm trying to keep pace with Dylan.
Yeah, you're just trying to keep up at this point. Hank saves us 3.
I think everybody else is pretty much tapping in.
Yeah, mine stayed right there, too, so these should definitely just be wrapping up.
Must be getting warm out there. He lost the sweatshirt.
Yep. Sun's out. And this is one of the funnest tournaments that we play all year, and you know, you have been champion of this event multiple times, so this means something to you. You know, you come out here and you try to play your best because, you know, this is kind of your home turf too.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the first courses in the Lehigh Valley, the first course in the Lehigh Valley, actually, and the first course I've ever played a competitive round at, too, back in my junior days. First tournament was a junior regional here.
Yeah, this was a world's course in 2005. It held one of the hardest SSA ratings in the world for a very long time, and I think still does in world's history. But what a beautiful piece of land. This is one of the holes that you kind of finally get to unleash. 538 feet. You can unload a drive, get it out in the middle, and then your second shot is always tricky, no matter what on this hole. It doesn't seem to matter where you land. You've got to kind of put something through a tight lane to get to the basket on your second shot. So,
yeah, it's got a little bit of a low ceiling second shot with the creek right behind you. So you need to get a little bit on it to get under the ceiling, but you can't put too much on it that you go into the creek, which makes it a little tricky.
Yeah, and when that creek is running high, and since we just had rain, it always is. It definitely makes you think about what you're doing on this hole. Hank leaving that just a little bit to that right-hand side. That is not where you want to be for this approach shot.
I was also short into the right. I caught the high branches.
You stayed in the grass, though, which is nice.
Attacking the cameraman.
Yes. But you're right there for a putt. That was a really good flick shot.
20 feet or so.
Now, I decided to try to go up and over, which works for me a lot, actually. There is an opening there, but I think I just caught something a little bit early and didn't get all the way to the pin. So
you can see the leaves falling.
Hank, from where he is kind of hoping to salvage something here, and he long putt. You know, he's just got the water right behind the basket. Dan just clipping that tree. If you're on the other side of the path, you can make the putt, and that's, you know,
it's definitely no gimme, but
yeah, but you should
manageable.
make the putt. Yep. And here's Dylan. See, he has to throw a low flick shot, and it's still tricky, even with as much distance as he got.
It took a pretty big bounce.
You go over
You're
those.
flirting with the OB with that.
Yeah,
you see it go over the bank, you're questioning whether you're safe or not.
I immediately think the worst.
Yeah, when you go over that bank, you automatically think you're most likely OB.
So tough putt from here. I mean, it's definitely nerve-wracking. And I stayed there, thank God.
It's hard to believe that Dan's only been playing for a little over a year at this point, I think.
Yeah.
He's a relatively newcomer.
Yep, went from the AM ranks to the pro ranks extremely fast. But he's a natural athlete, and he understands
He's
the
a
way
smart
that
player.
the way that his body works. He understands. He has really good balance. So he's somebody to watch out for. There's no doubt about it. It scares the hell out of me because I've been playing so long, and you watch his form, and you're kind of going, God, I wish I could do that.
Especially when it comes to the forehand.
Yeah, that's more what I'm talking about than anything. Yeah, so. Hole 10, the beast.
This is one of my favorite holes. There's
Yes.
a couple different ways you can play it. I think most of us will be laying up to the bottom of the hill and then trying to throw the big shot from the bottom to the top. You get some people trying to make the distance off the first one and get it as far up the hill as they can.
Like
but then you
Dylan.
have a standstill second shot most of the time. That hill is really rocky and rough footing.
Yeah, you can see they did a little replay of Dylan's shots where you can get an idea. He's too far left. It's tough to get the right angle to the basket from where he went to, which makes it a tough choice to go for that hillside.
Yeah, you only have about 15-foot wide landing area on that trail going up. So it's a tough one to hit.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it right at the base of the hill there. I went a little bit too far even towards those bushes. But it's just a layup shot and then a rocket of a drive up the hill to try to get to the pin. You can be super aggressive on your second shot from the bottom of the hill, which is why you see most of us laying up.
Definitely wasn't in my optimal spot. I had to turn it over just a little bit, but
You made
I'm
it up
okay
there.
where I landed. I'll give myself a putt.
Yeah, you made it up the hill. That's the important part.
This is a basket. Even when I'm in a spot where Hank is, I'm usually not attacking the basket just because of the ridge that it's on and the rocks that it's on. A lot of times it'll roll down the hill, and if you end up too far up past the basket, as on hole 8, you're looking off a hill, where if you miss your putt, you're probably not making the comeback.
That camera angle gave you a good perspective of how serious the slope is, where the basket is. You turn something over a little bit too much, and you're in trouble. I mean, where I'm at, I like where I'm at because you're a little bit higher up. It's not as steep of a grade.
Like, past pin high, but on the flat like you were.
Now Dylan's trying to force a forehand over there. It was kind of hard to tell where he ended up. I don't mind being where Hank is, though, too. You can be aggressive from there.
Yeah. But it's rough footing right there. I like the flat footing from where me and you are.
Yeah.
Yours is a little better than mine. I look like I'm on the slippery rocks right there.
I was hoping that was going to stick, but I'm glad it didn't go flying down the hill. You kind of feel okay with taking a par here.
It was a great putt by Dan.
Unbelievable putt.
Ooh.
That was fortunate.
Looks like some wind blowing there.
Yeah.
Looks a little precarious where I'm at just from there.
Yeah, you could have gone flying down the hill pretty easy by hitting that flag. So.
Oh no.
Man.
Who was that? Dylan.
That was Dylan. So Dylan, after his good start, is struggling on hole 10. And that's what can happen on hole 10. That's why it's such a difficult hole. Is because you can take a couple extra strokes without even blinking an eye.
It's probably hole 18 too, but one of the truest par 4s on the course. I think the other ones are a little easier. 10 and 18 are definitely the true par 4s.
Yeah, so I've parred every hole so far, so I'm Mr. Steady right now, just kind of chugging along. Hole 11, one of our favorite holes on the course, or one of my favorite holes on the course. Really, really fair fairway. If you throw a good shot, you're going to get rewarded. The green is nice. It's awesome. I mean, just look at that. It's a deceiving 420 feet because it plays downhill, so you're really throwing like a 370-foot shot, and you're going to end up right at the hole.
Yeah, I'm usually just going T-bird. I think here I chose the PD, which is pretty much a T-bird, a little faster.
Yeah, it's a good choice, though. I think I might be throwing the exact same thing, actually. I'm throwing the SPD. And it holds the stability. It comes in real nice. It gives enough glide. And
yeah, that was a great shot.
hopefully I can make a putt.
Yeah, getting off the par train maybe here.
Yeah.
Get the round started.
And Hank throwing a destroyer. This is one of his go-tos. A little bit left. He's not thrilled with where that ended up.
See if Dylan can get back on track after that last hole. Shake it off.
Yeah, Dylan was throwing a bunch of DGA stuff. He has been for a long time. And like we said, he went to Team Latitude this year. So a lot of stuff is new for him, but man, he ripped some of that DGA stuff.
Hank's probably in a little bit of a tough spot here. He's got to make a good up.
Yeah, it's pretty fair over there on the left, though. Even if you
you can grab some lines.
Yeah, there's different lines that you can. It's pretty clear. We'll see what Dan can do from a distance here. Did you notice I'm doing the dual umbrella?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why
I'll have to pay
two
attention.
umbrellas, but I have two umbrellas. Oh, Dylan wanted that one. And Hank to save par here.
Say this is only about 18 feet. You should have that pretty well.
Yeah,
Hank's definitely a solid putter in that range.
Hank doesn't miss those often at all. You know, it's kind of surprising to see Hank start, to be honest with you, and mine, if I can say that about myself too. That was a good birdie. That was a very good birdie. Those were two good PD shots that we both threw. Let's see if I can convert. Oh, yeah.
Punkin in the basket.
That's right. Those are the greatest. I mean, those DX AVR putters, the pumpkin putters, have just been so solid for me for so long. It's so tough to take them out of the bag, but they do just get so beat up that eventually you have to.
We're on to hole 12 now. I always feel like this is one of the must-gets as a righty.
Absolutely.
Probably only 300 feet about. Yeah, 294.
Yeah, it's just a nice stable mid-range. If you just throw a nice hyzer, which all of us should be able to do, you can put yourself right next to the basket. I think I'm throwing my MD3, and again, it just was a little bit too far on the left side. So now I've got a long
still got a putt, probably 35, 40.
Yeah, but this fairway is so... There's so much room. It's so safe that there's no excuse not to get in and penetrate into the woods to get a putt.
Yeah, the hardest part about this hole is just that you can't see the basket over the little bit of hill that's there, and the fact that it's off to the left in the woods. So just judging your distance, having your distance down is the hardest part of this hole.
Absolutely. And if you do go long, you do end up in a really...
That was a good shot by Hank there.
In a really bad place. It can be tough when you go long to come back at the basket. But yeah, Hank just pinned that. That was a really good shot.
Guessing this is a harp out of Dylan.
And yeah,
really good there.
Really good hit. It could have skipped pretty far left, but ended up right next to the pin. Yeah, I know. I just wasn't standing up straight when I was putting there. And Dan for his birdie. Yeah, I actually wrote SUS on my shoes to remind myself to stand up straight when I'm putting. That's a heartbreaker. Okay, so we are off to hole number 13, one of the most beautiful holes on the course.
Definitely one of my favorite, just straight down the middle. Angle control, distance control comes into play on this.
Yeah, it's a really good controlled fairway driver. Hank's throwing his T-bird, and man, it's just flying perfect. You know, he's leaving himself right next to the basket.
10 feet.
It's a lot harder to do that than it looks. So this isn't just a nice, straightforward, easy shot. You've got quite a bit of elevation going down. You can lose stuff to the right like Dylan is now. Really not a great place to be. But one of the funnest holes to throw on the course.
Yeah, I'm going T-bird here myself. Just trying to keep it level with me just about down the whole fairway.
Yeah, that's a really good shot too. You know, you guys definitely use the meat of the fairway. If you're a little bit left, a little bit right, that's where you get into trouble. You can see mine popped up, but it didn't stay up, so it is just a little bit more stable than I wanted. Kind of fought through to a pretty good place for a putt, but yeah, that's the difference between throwing more of a fairway driver and I threw the PD there, so
just slightly more meaty than a T-bird.
And yeah, Dan leaving that early out of his hand. Left early is not where you want to be, but hopefully he can save himself here.
Looks like he got out pretty good. Should have a putt.
Yep, we've got another disc coming out of the woods there.
I think that was a replay of Dan from a different camera.
It might have been. And then here's Dylan. This is from that right side, which is a tricky shot. So he's having to really work to bend something around, but he's there.
It's a good shot from where he was.
Yeah, this is, you got to watch the behind the basket here is a creek. So you can roll down that hill. I got lucky again and didn't go OB, but then I missed the putt anyway. So
might not have been standing up straight there.
Yeah, probably not. It's tough watching yourself play, because I want to critique myself the whole time. Well, that was a good birdie from you. Hank's going to tap in his birdie. He's not going to miss this. And he's going to get rolling again. So, you know,
so
that's...
yeah, Hank will have fought his way back to even at this point after a rough start.
Yep.
Myself at 6 down, Dylan at 3 down.
And I'm back at even.
And yeah, Steve worked his way the other way to even.
Yes,
so
I did.
Him and Hank are battling it out, and Danbrook Wells is at 1 down. He can still put in some work and, you know, catch up and be respectable going into the next
into the next 9.
holes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here with this this next 9. But thanks for joining us for this 9. We'll leave you with some highlights of some of the better shots that we saw out there. Thanks again to Tea Time Disc Golf for doing everything that they do. Again, you know, we're at one of the most gorgeous parks and one of the best courses in the Lehigh Valley. So, you know, tune in to the back 9. You're going to see some amazing holes and some really good stuff.